All right, a pleasant good morning to you from Tony'sPicks.com, and welcome to Night Moves here for Monday, March 16th. Pleasant good morning to you, and getting ready for March Madness now for sure, officially here. We have the bracket selections there on Sunday. We'll get to those in just a moment. Thank you for joining me here. We got kind of a short show. We're trying to find some sports out there for our card on Monday. We know we got some NBA, we've got some NHL, but where are you at college basketball? We'll talk about the tournament here in just a moment. Thank you for joining me here in the chat. We'll definitely have some previews. We'll talk basketball and hockey here today, but we've got to talk about, first off, the World Baseball Classic. United States defeating the Dominican Republic here last night. Power pitching beats power hitting in the championship game. Oh, the semifinal game. Whoops. Yeah, probably had that championship feel with U.S. and Dominican. Hey, there's more games to come, kind of like when the U.S. beat the Soviets, right? Back in the day. Got another game to go, but United States 2-1 in that Sunday semifinal in Miami. Incredible atmosphere. The crowd wasn't enough. There were Americans. There were some Americans rooting in there as well, but Gunnar Henderson, and he's Roman Anthony. I'm Ramon Anthony. He's the big star with the solo home run. Aaron Judge, the two big defensive plays on defense. Paul Skeens, 4 1/3 inning, 1 run, 5 hits. Mason Miller gets the 9th inning save with the tying run at third. No ABS. You got to ring him up. Can't believe that the tournament went to a no ABS system. It might have had something to do with the games in Japan, or maybe they wanted to just stick with a little bit of tradition there. I mean, it seems like they could get it in place. I mean, you have to measure all the players and everything. There's a little something to that as well, but I would have used the tournament as even a bigger ABS. I would have went with like all ABS strike zone or something like that, and not even have the challenge system. Just get rid of those umpires, because while we did have a lot of major league, there was a little bit of mix of the umpiring in there from international umpires and major league umpires. So USA won despite 15 strikeouts. Get ready for a record-setting major league season this year with strikeouts from players. Julio Rodriguez robbed Aaron Judge with that over the fence home run catch as well. You have the DR big bats of Tatis, Machado, Guerrero, Soto, just to combine 3 for 16. So those guys, maybe they're not so clutch. And Venezuela versus Italy on Monday in that other semifinal game. Venezuela did beat Japan in that last game 8-5 to get to that final in that one. So Japan blew a 5-2 lead there the other night. We might have touched on that there last night, but a great game, no doubt. Yeah, everybody's a little mad about what happened. You can't challenge that call there at the end. And there were calls. It was not just that last call last night. The ball strike umpiring was absolutely dreadful in the World Baseball Classic, probably because of the use of the ABS system already in spring training, and we're getting ready to go over it. We're getting ready to use it in full effect here, right, in the major league. So I think that this season. So I think there was a little bit to that. I think the umpires are just a little bit gun shy there a little bit. And I think it kind of came back on haunt them a little bit there with the World Baseball Classic because they were missing strikes left and right. I mean, remember when the tournament got started. I mean, the first pitch of the tournament, I think, was like right down the middle, and the guy didn't even call it. So it ended with the same way with the last pitch there, at least in the semifinals. We got one more game to go in the World Baseball Classic for the United States. We know we still have to work that game tomorrow night here, Monday night. Like I said, between Venezuela and Italy here right now. So Venezuela about a $2 favorite in that one. The total about 10 flat there, but I'm on. Before the tournament round began, I took Italy at 20-1 to win the tournament. Well, I hope they win this game and set it up because they won't be 20-1 dogs against the United States. So maybe I'll just cash out a little bit there, root for the U.S. We'll see, though. They got to win this game, I think, over Venezuela here. I like Italy. I like the momentum they've had. And, hey, I might have been on the Dominican Republic in that game versus the U.S. Maybe it was a little bit of emotional hedge there in the game. They did actually cover the run line, which I also bet, but nonetheless, 2-1, great game. That's baseball. I know we want, we want 8-7 or 6-5, but hey, 2-1 works. The U.S. gets it done there at the World Baseball Classic, and it was fun. It was great to have the tournament followed by that game. It was a good Sunday night of fun there after we saw, and the championship games too. Let's talk about them here right now. Let me thank everyone for joining me here on Night Moves. Like I said, I think we could knock this one out in about an hour or less with our sports card today. I guess I could just roll off the picks if we wanted to, but I do want to talk about the NCAA tournament certainly and the brackets. Hopefully, hey, you got to start filling out your brackets. Who do you got to win the national championship? Let me know in the chat or the comments below after the show if you want to get on record with me here for the NCAA tournament. I only hold 3 futures in the tournament with Duke, also Arizona and Arkansas as my other pick. And how about Arkansas in their win on Sunday over Vanderbilt? Hey, we had Arkansas here on the show over Vandy. How about the Arkansas duo? We know, they got some guys, and those are the kind of players that you want to have in the tournament. Those guys who can fill it up a little bit, and they also have, other positions too. Arkansas is a real sleeper. I don't know if they are anymore after winning the SEC championship here on Sunday. We did have Arkansas as our pick here on Night Moves. Had some other winners here with the shows as well. We had VCU in their tournament win there yesterday. We had VCU here on Night Moves and their comfortable win over Dayton, 70-62. Of course, Penn won the Ivy League championship there, and we also had a winner here on Night Moves with Wichita and South Florida game to go under in South Florida's 70-55 win in the American Conference Championship. And did we have the Purdue Boilermakers? I think we did. Purdue wins outright against Michigan, 80-72. Could Purdue be a little bit of a sleeper? Because you want to throw Michigan in there right now. You think of the top teams here in the tournament, whoever you might think they are. A lot of people are going to have Michigan in that group, and Purdue, like I said, it felt to me like Purdue was underrated by the pollsters here. And yes, they were the 7th seed, but that's by standing there, in the Big Ten. It was such a wild conference there. They were the 7th seed in the tournament here, but I think they could be that sleeper there in the number 2 seed position there. Watch out for those 15-2s. But what do you think are the best games in March Madness? Of course, the number 1 seeds, Duke, Arizona, Michigan, and Florida. Number 2 seeds, Connecticut, Purdue, Iowa State, and Houston. What are your top first-round games? I noticed some good ones here. Nebraska and Troy, St. Mary's and Texas A&M. How about Georgia and St. Louis? Villanova and Utah State, Kentucky, Santa Clara, Akron and Texas Tech. What are your favorite matchups from the first round? And how about the snubs there? Yes, my San Diego State Aztecs. I predicted they would not get in. Also, IU, Indiana not in. Oklahoma out. Auburn out. We told you Auburn's out. Also, New Mexico from the Mountain West ended up a 1-bid league there. So what do you think with the NCAA tournament? And we can't wait. I mean, we get underway right away with the first four, of course, and then we'll get into the Twin 16s on Thursday and Friday. Should be just a great tournament this year. Lots of things to watch for in the tournament this season, and watch out for those upsets. And not only upsets, right, but you also got to consider taking him into consideration against the spread as well. The last 5 years, you could look to some different seeds that just have a trouble covering in the first round. For example, some are better than others. And, the top seeds aren't exactly woeful. We think of looking for upsets, always wanting that, 116, 215, whatever it is. But those teams are not actually that bad. Number one seeds are just 11-9 in the first round against the spread over the last 5 years. But over the last 3 years, number two seeds are 8-4 against the spread. The last 6 years, number three seeds are 16-8 against the spread in the first round. Last 3 years, like I said, the last 3 years or so, these teams seem to do pretty well. So Texas NC State, that's a play-in game on Tuesday. Remember, I said these are the most awkward games. It really doesn't make any sense to allow two at-large teams to battle it out. They should be inviting more bubble teams. I mean, those are supposedly bubble teams, but it is unfair to make those particular teams make a play-in. Really, it just shows you how corrupt the NCAA March Madness field is in a way, but we're not going to downplay it. We love it. I mean, this is one of the best events in all of sports and sports betting. So I just note that those two teams did play, and Texas beat the Wolfpack in the Maui Classic earlier this year, 102-97. And Texas was shooting three-pointers like nobody's business. They were 16-32 in that game. So, but NC State, I mean, they were 2-7 in their last 9 games. I mean, I can't see how they really got in over a couple of those teams that I mentioned. Actually, I'm a little steamed that San Diego State didn't make it. A team that's been so good, making the tournament every year, basically for the last decade, and left out after a championship game win. So Big East didn't get much respect either. 3 teams in the NCAAs with St. John's the number 5 seed, Villanova number 8 seed. They're a slight dog in their game against Utah State. This is the first time Utah State mentioned the Mountain West. This is the first time since 2017, the Mountain West only got one team in to the NCAA tournament. And they had the number 6 league in the country this year by most metrics. So that really doesn't make sense. Again, they just really shut out the West because quite frankly, the television ratings aren't there. So why invite them? Miami of Ohio had that 31-0 regular season, lost in the first round. They get into the tournament. They play SMU in that play-in game. We knew they'd get in. Come on, the NCAA tournament, they don't pay attention to the metrics. They don't care about the metrics, and that's fraudulent. They care about, what's going to be the best for their brand and their company and their ratings. So that's okay. We got Miami of Ohio in. We can make fun of them when they get blown out by SMU. SMU is going to be dunking all over them there on Wednesday night. Miami of Florida can't be real happy. They had a good season. They're the number 7 seed, but they got sent to St. Louis where they'll play Missouri. That's just the way they do business, right? BYU has to play on a Thursday, Saturday because BYU can't play on Sundays. We know that, right? So all 4 seeds are a double-digit favorite in their first-round games. That hasn't happened since 1994. So watch out for those 15-2s. Maybe it'll happen again. It's been happening a lot lately, the 15-2. Remember, just a few years ago, Princeton beat Arizona. St. Peter's beat Kentucky in 2022. Oral Roberts beat Ohio State in 2021. There were 3 straight years in there, although it hasn't happened in a couple of seasons that the 15 beat the 2. So it should be a great tournament, and we'll be previewing them here every day on Night Moves to go along, especially on Thursday and Friday with the Twin 16s. You got to love that. And the other tournaments as well. Are they going to even have these other tournaments in some of these NIT, for example, talking about my San Diego State Aztecs, they turned it. I said they'd be a favorite to win the NIT. They just turned it down. They can't afford it. Actually, you got to. It costs money to play mostly, unless you can really generate it. It kind of costs money to play in those other tournaments. So, you know what? Those tournaments are going by the wayside, kind of like the way we see, bowl games and stuff. Nobody cares about those other tournaments except us gamblers, really, is what it feels like. All right, let me say hello to some folks in the chat. Is still going to recap a little bit of action there, but you guys got a lot of great comments and maybe your favorite moments here of the day. Tim M was first, and he loved what the Americans did there in the tournament. Good game, no doubt about it. Victor Rojas, USA, getting it done there. Ready for a money-making Monday here. All right, and yeah, we'll have to see what we can do with our limited card here in the NBA. Tough card, said Victor there. Hey, we did have, I think we managed a few winners, though, here on Night Moves with me, didn't we? Somewhere in there, we had the over with Indiana and Milwaukee. That was our Night Moves winner yesterday, but did we have any more? We did have the Philadelphia 76ers. They were able to get it home for us there in the 109-103 win. They were big underdogs. Remember, they won the game outright. But that was pretty much it for me here with the winners. So, yeah, maybe it wasn't the best. At least NHL, we did have a few there with the Blues and the Jets game to go under. We had that one there. Here on Night Moves to get it rolling 3-2 with the Jets getting the win there, and also a winner with the Ducks and the Canadians game to go over. We said that one reeks of 4-3, and it was 4-3 in favor of the Ducks. Also here, Night Moves winners, Seattle Kraken crushed Florida. How they were an underdog, I don't know, but the Kraken got the win 6-2 there. We split our plays. So it wasn't the best there, but we did do well in the colleges. So, all right, let's see who else is here. Mr. Weskers talking the Warriors basketball in there. Timmy Two Shoes is going to join us here tonight for our show. And For Real Kev is here, ready to preview this NHL action. We're thankful for the NHL. Jimmy says, "Rest in peace. The World Baseball Classic is over. We've got still go to the championship game, Jimmy. It felt like the championship game, but it wasn't. So we'll see who the United States plays in the World Baseball Classic Championship. Victor Rojas knows we got that NBA there as well." And let's see here, Red Wings 824. He likes Tennessee. We just want Miami of Ohio to lose, right? I think that's the key. Hello to Kelly. Too many ACCs in here. Might as well just invite the whole darn league. She's rooting for Miami of Ohio. I think I've switched on him, Kelly. I'm not a fan of the Red Hawks after the way they celebrate, the way they taunted the Ohio fans and flipped them off and everything. I've been down on them ever since. I think that's why they got their comeuppance in the after that in the first round of the tournament. Youssef Kashab is here. Hello. He says, "Do you like the Spurs -8.5?" I think the question is, do you like them, Youssef? We're going to preview it here. Kelly says, "Don't forget the most obvious one we always talk about, right, Kelly, is the 12 versus the 5. You don't want to be a 5 seed, huh, Kelly? It's always the 12-5 game. Although a lot of people say 11-6 is the new 12-5. And Kelly saw that Knicks game. That Knicks game there on Sunday. She wasn't a big fan of that against the Warriors there. I laid it too. I think if that's what you're talking about, I laid it with the Knicks, but they were a little bit uninspired there as double-digit favorites. I took a loss there on that one. All right, so thank you for joining me here on the show as we like I said, man, I was thinking trying to find some more sports. I mean, should I go over some soccer Monday? No, we'll just keep it a short show. I think that'd be the best to do with the show, I think, here today because of, hey, it's our short schedule. That's it. Don't forget, I mean, we're just couple weeks away for the Major League Baseball season as well. Get started early with a special game there. So should be a good show here. We'll just preview the games that we have and leave it at that. Hey, a few notes though. How about golf here on Sunday at TPC Sawgrass? Upset win. What happened, Ludwigsburg? Ludwig got cold there, and 3 bogeys, a double bogey. Talk about choke jobs, but not for Cam Young. A 5 birdie day as the field falters, and Cam Young gets the win. My picks. I had 2 guys right there at the leaderboard there last week. You remember here on Night Moves, my golfers this week. I did have 2 guys finish real good there at the top with Matt Fitzpatrick. We had him to win the tournament at 41-1. I sprinkle all around with my golfers in different bets. So Fitzpatrick was able to score for me there a little bit. Also, I had Bobby Mack in there, 58-1, finished in 4th place. So he cashed some bets for me as well. And I also had 2 guys also finish tied for 13th. So I missed 3 of my 7 golfers this week in the field. Did not make the cut, but I had Russell Henley, 30-1. He finished 13th. Didn't really turn a profit for me, kind of broke even. But also, I had Sam Burns, 100-1, and he finished 13th. I cashed some bets with him this week for sure. Fitzpatrick bogeyed, though, there at the end. He lost his, on 18, he lost his chance for the playoff. Kind of left me holding the bag a little bit for a big score. I've only hit one big one so far this season. That was in that first tournament, that 60-1. So we're going to have to hit one soon, and we're going to be in the red here soon. This week was a little bit of profit for me, though, with the leader, with the way that it toppled. Brooks Koepka was up there 6 under. Scotty finished 5 under. Rory, battling that back injury, finished at even par. Last night, Chinese Grand Prix. I think we talked about Antonelli, the 19-year-old, won from the pole over George Russell. But NASCAR today, Las Vegas 400, Denny Hamlin. What a story. He survived the speeding penalty in the pits, takes the lead on lap 219, holds off Chase Elliott and William Byron on that late restart. Of course, an emotional win for Hamlin after the tragedy involving the fire and his family there. So great win for Denny Hamlin. He owns Las Vegas. Why I didn't go with Hamlin. Wins for the 10th time on the Las Vegas track. And a great win for him there, no doubt. That was terrific for Denny Hamlin. Couldn't help but root for him there at the end. IndyCar, Kyle Kirkwood survived a 9-second pit stop past Palou, then held him off late in the race for a restart win. Kirkwood, fast laps, results in a fast win, if you even with a 9-second pit stop in there as well. And a great final today at Indian Wells as Sinner outslugged Medvedev. I took Medvedev on the game spread, so he got home there, but 7-6, 7-6 in the men's final. Really a good one there. Only went 2, but he went to a couple of tie breaks there, and Sinner, man, he still finds a way to get it done every time. And Sabalenka came from behind in that 3-set battle with Rybakina in the women's final there at Indian Wells to wrap up a great 2 weeks of tennis there, 10 days of tennis there. So, all right, thanks for joining me here. We're going to get to the action and talk sports and sports betting today. Well, like I said, not going to be here for very long, but we're going to pick some winners here, hopefully, in the NBA, 8 games, NHL, 5 games. So let's get it started here on Night Moves for a Monday and get rolling here before you know it. And we'll have, they'll hopefully find some teams to play some college basketball in these other tournaments this week. So stuck up for these tournaments. If we don't get to the NCAA tournament, we're not going. What's wrong with that? All right. And the Academy Awards there last night between the fights and the crowd there. Oh, I'd have comments on that, but I'd bore you to tears. I think the Academy Award, I love the Grammys. I know there is a little bit of controversy there, but at least the Grammys are a little bit more, the Academy Awards are still stuck in 1950. It feels like for the most part. Okay, here we go with our previews today. Oh, let me go. I almost missed them. Uh, well, I think it's the best part of the show. Going over to Tony'sPicks.com and take a look at our best bets over there and see who did well for the action here on Sunday. Then I'll get to the picks. I got to do the commercial here and talk about our best bets over at Tony'sPicks.com. And let's see who did well on Sunday over there. I know I had a little bit of a winning day. It was a light schedule, so I don't think there were too many heavy plays in here, but Ron Crawford found his way to 8 plays, probably had some good soccer. Let's take a peek at our good friend Ron Crawford there, 6-2 on the day. Let's highlight him here a little bit and check it out. I'm figuring he probably had some soccer action to see him there, just having a great year so far in several of these sports. He's got his NHL Blue Line best bet ready to go as well. Ron with winners today included Edmonton Oilers puck line, Anaheim Ducks there on the money line, Purdue, Milwaukee, and like I said, good soccer. No, he had no soccer. He rolled it in basketball here. Great job by Ron, and hockey as well. Great job, Ron, atop the leaderboards here on a Monday, 6-2 record. Tony T has been putting together a good run of winning days here right now, 3-1. I'm up there, 2-1-1. Let you know what I had here on Sunday. With my winners over at Tony'sPicks.com, I had a little push in there in Toronto and Minnesota, but I did have the under with Seattle and San Jose, 1-0 final there between two teams that starting off the season pretty well in Major League Soccer. I also had Dayton and VCU under. I did take the over there in Vanderbilt and Arkansas, but I finished 5 points shy there of that one. So 2-1-1 day for me over at Tony'sPicks.com. Also, Kevin Thomas over there, 3-2 on the day. Shane Mickle and David Racy in the green on Sunday, last 7 days. Shane Mickle atop the leaderboards, almost 65%, nearly 8 units of profit. Brian Bittler, same thing there, just shy of 65%, 7.5 units of profit. Justin Stacks McKelvey, also real sharp here right now, up over nearly 6 2/3 units of profit. Alessandro Rodriguez, just a 7-5 record, but up over 5 units, showing his dog prowess. Kevin Thomas up there, up over 4 units of profit. And DeAndre Stevenson is up there over the week, almost 2 units of profit last 30 days. Stephen Duncan continues to roll. He's up there over nearly 6 units of profit. Brian Bittler over 5 1/3 units over the last 30 days. Shane Mickle up over 5 units over the last 30 days. Mills Young's up over 4 units over the last 30 days. Tony T is up 4 units over the last 30 days. And Al Ninos up there, 3.6 units over the last 30 days. Take a look at our yearly leaders. Click on the Premium Picks tab. That's how you find our best bets over at Tony'sPicks.com. We've got $19 discount best bets. We got 3-packs, 5-packs, 7-packs. You can use the promo code TonyT at checkout to save 15% off those premium pick packages, including mine here on Monday. I'll find my way to a few premium picks, even with the abbreviated cards. So check us out over at Tony'sPicks.com. Let's see who's got what going on here already. Kevin Thomas got his Monday pristine wager, his top play in the NBA. Alessandro Rodriguez also his top play in the NBA. Rod's got his bottle rocket POD in the NHL. Chris has his NBA slam dunk best bet. Ron Crawford's got his NHL Blue Line best bet in there. Double Shooty's got a pick pass, 3 winners, 2 in the NBA, 1 in the NHL. Al Ninos has a big NHL prop going off here on Monday. And take a look at all the handicappers over at Tony'sPicks.com. Why not ride with me over a 3-day all sports premium pass for just $99? Let me guide you some winners here over the next 3 days over at Tony'sPicks.com. I'll find winners on this card, believe me. So check me out over at Tony'sPicks.com. All right, I'm ready if you are now to take a look at the card here on a Monday. Let's get rolling. Thank you to everybody in the chat. Also, Cookie Monster, hello there. Nice to have Cookie Monster in the chat. Hello, man. I love me some cookies here in the middle of the night. And let's take a look at the action here on a Monday in the NBA. We're going to start it off here. We're going to look at them all in this one, even a game between some also rans here, a couple games with some also rans. But this one's not. We got a one playoff bound team here anyway with the Warriors. I think they're going to make it. They might not fall apart. And hey, look, like we said, at least the Warriors were competitive there against the Knicks. They did not win that game on Sunday. The Knicks still got the win there, 110 to 107 over Golden State, but they are going to be favored here on the road against the non-playoff team here in the Wizards. But man, the Warriors look like a team that is a tankathon team, really, the way it's going. We know Washington is, that's for sure. But man, the Warriors just can't find a win here right now. They're fortunate that the rest of the conference is so weak here that they will still make the play-in. They're 8.5 games ahead of 11th place Memphis. So the rest of the field's done, but the Warriors might end up in 10th place in the play-in tournament as they're a half a game ahead of the Portland Trailblazers right now, trying to just hang on, I guess. Here currently. So we'll see what you guys have. How I work this is I make a little preview and then I give a little pick out, and then you guys are welcome to join me in the chat with your picks here. So, all right, I'm taking a look though at this one between Golden State on the road, just trying to find a win here right now. Are the Warriors? They feel like it's almost an even matchup with this sorry Washington team, the way it's going. Golden State basically has lost 5 straight. They're just 6-12 against the spread. Their last 18. Golden State has covered 5 of the last 6 meetings between these two over the last few seasons. So they are playing a pretty mediocre team here, pretty bad team in the Washington Wizards. Wizards are on a massive losing streak here right now. You think the Warriors are going bad. Wait till you hear about the Washington Wizards right now and their 11-game losing streak. And, well, they're not covering very many spreads either. But they have covered the last 2 in a row. Watch out. As underdogs, they covered against Orlando. They covered against Boston. Those games are on the road. And they're home here in this one. Now, you could call this a tankathon game, but the Warriors just aren't playing well enough right now. And I think we're just tacking on some numbers there because the Warriors are going to the playoffs. Now, there are some injuries here for Washington. Alex Sarr continues to be out, I believe, in this one. Keyshawn George is going to be out as well. So 2 key players for Washington, no matter what you say about them here, is like I said, also Rams. They're the team that's covered 2 straight. At least the Warriors covered their last game because they're crummy too, 19-24 against the spread as a favorite. But Washington has dreadful numbers as a dog, 26 of 35. Although just 16-17 against the spread at home. I accentuate it like that because really, I mean, the Warriors are a crummy cover as well. So that's probably a benefit here, a pro Washington play here, I think, for me. We'll see what you guys have, though. Go ahead. Seth Curry is out. Big Al is out. And Moses Moody is going to continue to be out with that injured wrist. Porzingis is probable here. He feels better, I guess. But for how long? DeAnthony Melton probable. Draymond is probable. So maybe that will be enough for the Warriors, but I don't trust them to lay a number right now to anybody here. And I'm going to take the Washington Wizards plus the points in this one against the Golden State Warriors. I rarely want to be on any of these tankathon teams, but it just feels to me like the Warriors are not playing well enough to cover a number. They did beat Washington 122-114 at home back in January, but they did not cover, even though they won by 8. They were favored by 13.5 in that one. They may get the money here. But let's see what you got in the chat in our game here on Sunday. All right. And let's see here. Timmy says Golden State. He likes the under here in this one. Mr. Wesker's had the Warriors last time out, and maybe he doesn't want to take them again. That's it. You won one time with them. You're done with them. Kelly likes pods here to get his points over. And Timmy says, look at this total. It's already gone up big time here. 232.5 now. Boy, you got to think this one's going to be going high, don't you, Timmy? And it is. It's got to be moving up. It's moving up for sure. I'm showing right now 231.5 here, 232.5 under at DraftKings, but 231 at Circa. So if anything, I think the sharp books are kind of saying it might still be a low, but I don't know if it will be actually. So all right, but I'm going to take the Wizards as my play in this one. Go Wizards. Awkward here. The move has been on the Warriors here a little bit. It opened kind of 6.5 at some books, up to 7.5 right now in that one. So I'm going to go ahead and take the Wizards here. Don't tell anybody. Don't go sharing it around. But I'm going to take the Wizards here. Like I said, you're looking at the total, though. You guys are talking a little bit about it there. Warriors 40-27 to the over. No matter how you look at it, this team, basically 2/3 of their games when they are favored go over. 29-14 to the over for Golden State this season when they are a favorite. So Washington is a slight over as well. It's a dog, 33-28 to the over, 18-15 to the over at home. So just in general, when looking at the trends of these guys, Washington over in 6 of their last 8 as well. 6 of the last 8 meetings between the two teams have gone over, and the Warriors have also gone over in 10 of their last 14. So will be hard, I think, here with these two to keep it under. I mean, even the Wizards might be able to run up a little bit of a number on these guys. All right, that's it for that one. Make it seem like an important game. Hey, how about this one, man? This is a sneaky good game right here. This is the Peacock game of the night here on the East Coast with Orlando and Atlanta. This should be the Eastern Conference Finals, man. The way these guys are going, we won't prop them up that much, but both teams on massive winning streaks here. The Magic and the Hawks. We've been talking about them for over 2 weeks here about how hot they've been. We've kind of been riding them too a little bit because of that, knowing that they're on this run. But the Hawks are going to be favored in this one. Make no mistake here. 2.5 now, 230.5 or so. It might be a little bit shaded here to the Magic. It might be. Might see some 2s out there a little bit. But both teams, man, Atlanta, remember when they were under 500? They're 36-31 now. Orlando's 10 games over 500 here. Orlando's won 7 straight. Atlanta's won 9 straight. Break them up here. A shame one of these teams has to lose. Atlanta's gone 8-1 against the spread in those 9 games. Orlando's 4-1 against the spread in their last 5. The only team they didn't cover was against those Washington Wizards when they were favored by 14 and they won by 5. So maybe we'll give some of these teams that are very, very good, playing good, a little bit of a pass when they're not elite teams. They're laying those big double digits. Atlanta had a problem a couple of games as well. Didn't cover against Brooklyn when favored by 15.5. They still won by 9. So, yeah, for these teams to cover the big points, a little different than when you have some of those other teams like the Celtics or the Pistons or I want to say the Thunder, but they sometimes have even trouble with the double digits because they have to lay it so frequently. Atlanta's gone under in 9 of their last 12 games. This series has gone under in 7 of the last 10 meetings between the two, but Orlando has gone over in 4 of their last 5. Orlando's just 6-14 straight up in their last 20 games against Atlanta. And, it's safe to say that it's almost these teams have been on the same trajectory over the last couple of seasons, right? Maybe Orlando's growth pattern here has been a little bit more stable as they brought in these young players a little bit and, develop this team into what they are right now. And that's a good young team with a big future. Atlanta, they kind of revamped a little bit, right? They had their superstar in Trae Young, and then things kind of went south with Young. Maybe they didn't have a good chemistry with the team or building up around him, or maybe he was a dark horse here a little bit because whatever's going on now with these guys, it's been real solid. I mean, especially with the development of some of these guys with Alexander Walker, with Nkongwu, right, with Johnson in there has been great as well. Daniels and a veteran like McCollum. So the Atlanta Hawks have really put together some interesting chemistry here and done a terrific job uh, right now on this winning streak and putting themselves in position. Seeing a couple of threes out there total here, 230.5. It's actually gone down, it feels like, here a little bit. These two teams haven't met since back in November. Atlanta won at home 127 to 120 to 112 as a 3.5 point dog in that game. So, look, this isn't the best roll for Atlanta. They're just 15-17. ATS is a favorite. In Orlando, 12-11. ATS as a dog, but both teams hot. Atlanta's the better cover overall this year. No matter how you look at it, Orlando is still subpar ATS overall here. So I'll probably go to the total in this one. Let me see what you guys have here between Orlando and Atlanta here. This is a nice game between two clubs that have really, really stepped up their game. Let's just say it like it is here. And I don't know. That's a pretty high total for two teams playing, I think, pretty well defensively, especially Atlanta. Atlanta's 13-21 to the under at home. They've gone under, like I said, 7 of their last 10. Orlando's been the over team. They're 13-10 to the over as a dog, but just 16 overs, 16 unders on the road. And like I said, Atlanta at home and as a favorite. 14-18 to the under overall. So I'm going to take the under in this one with the Magic and the Hawks. Let's go to the chat, see what they have today. That's how I do it here on Night Moves. There, I'll give my pick out, but you guys have the more important pick, it feels like to me. Kelly says Atlanta's 9-1 ATS. Let's go Hawks. Mr. Weskers might want to back Atlanta. Timmy likes the points, though, here and the Magic, and he's talking the injury report here with this one. Let me update it here and see what I got right now. You got Franz Wagner. He's still out, of course, long-term. Jet Howard, questionable. Johnny Isaac is out of this game, and Black is out for sure. Kuminga still questionable here. That's really just it for Atlanta there. All right, and let's see here. Yusuf's making his pick in there. And Timmy says, what about it? Timmy, I've got the Pepsi over here. I'm a caffeine addicted guy. That's obvious to everybody, right? How can I stay up all these hours? I probably drink too much of this stuff. It'll probably be my downfall here, but we're going to go out with a smile on our face, all right? Mr. Western says, thinks the Magic may drop one here. I mean, they've been so hot. They just beat the Heat right on the road. That was a pretty big, win, obviously, for them. And look, they've beaten some tough teams here during this stretch, too. Hats off to them. They beat Minnesota. They beat Cleveland. They won that Miami game. But give Atlanta credit, too, but they've had a softer schedule, no doubt. In fact, out of their win streak here, last couple of games, they beat teams like Milwaukee, Brooklyn, Dallas, and Philly. So those teams have not been as strong. Orlando's played the tougher schedule. But I do feel like, both teams are playing so well that, maybe the home court could actually be the difference here for Atlanta and what amounts to such a big game for them, kind of a test to see where they're at, because the Magic have been a little bit better and Atlanta's been the growth team. I don't want to say an overlooked storyline, but ever since Trae Young, was kind of, we're done with you, you're benched, you're injured, whatever, that's been the turnaround for the Atlanta Hawks. And that does say something about sometimes some players, right? Especially a player like Young, who we know is a spectacular, can be a good player, a good, strong player, but some guys are just not chemistry. You bring teams down, you just, whatever reason. So Magic like to cover here, says Tim. Mr. Westwood says exactly what I think he said it right there. So, I'm going to take the total under here, but I might like a side here as well. Give me the under here with the Magic and the Hawks. Good game. Good game. We better watch that one, huh? All right, next up, not a tankathon game here. Uh, or it is a tankathon. It is, I should say it is a tankathon game here technically, but man, the Blazers are favored by 10 over the Nets. And Blazers again. Look, they've been good, man. Blazers. It does feel like they were put. Uh, Maybe because they played easier teams, easier schedules right now, it just feels like the Trailblazers get saddled with some pretty big handicaps. They're not exactly going to the NBA Finals. I mean, they're going to make the play-in. And look, I said they've done a great job this year. I think the Blazers have had, a successful season for them. Yeah, you want to finish in the top half. You want to be above 500. I don't know if they were going to score. I don't think their win total. I'd have to go back and look. I mean, they got 32 wins here right now. They're not going to fall out of favor here. They're going to finish probably in 10th place. Maybe they can pass the Warriors. They're probably not going to catch the Clippers. They're going to be in 10th place. They're probably going to be out right away in the play-in tournament. So they're not. They're good, but are they 10 points better than even the sorry sack Brooklyn Nets here? Brooklyn just riding in 13th place. They're not going anywhere. In fact, if anything, we've kind of tried to give the Bucks or the Bulls a chance to get into the play-in, but they're the only two teams. In fact, the Nets trail the 12th place Bulls by 10 games. There's a cliff that falls off once you get past even those two teams that aren't going to go into the play-in. So that Brooklyn's they've lost 3 in a row here right now after they won a couple of games, just 17 wins in 67 games. So 15 games left in the season. They have to win them all, and they couldn't even finish 500. Brooklyn, though, has been covering here of late. They covered against Philadelphia as an 8.5-point dog on the road. They covered against Atlanta, getting 15.5 on the road. Did get blown out at home here by Detroit, but also had wins over Memphis and Detroit here over the last 10 days or so, 2 weeks or so. So, I don't know. Brooklyn has had a slight life here a little bit. Actually 5-5 against the spread in their last 10, a little bit better than Portland ATS of late. Brooklyn is 27-35 against the spread as an underdog, but Portland 15-19 against the spread on the road, just 14-15 against the spread as a favorite. So I don't know if they're to be trusted even in the tankathon here. I love my tankathon teams, but Portland is 13-7 straight up against this club over the last 10 years, 6-3 against the spread against Brooklyn over the last 5 years or so. Portland's 2-6 ATS overall in their last 8, despite the fact that Brooklyn's lost 13 of their last 15. They've obviously covered 4 of their last 5, as explained. Brooklyn is 1-4 against the spread in their last 5 games, though, here at home against the Trailblazers. Brooklyn's gone here right now over in 10 of their last 11 games at home, and Portland's gone over in 13 of their last 19. Portland is a favorite, is 21-8 to the over as a favorite. So kind of interesting there. In fact, they went under yesterday in that roll. I actually avoided that. I think there, or I might have actually, I was on the under yesterday, despite that trend yesterday over there in that game against Philadelphia on Sunday. So even with that trend, I kind of avoided it, but I think I want to go with it here today because, Brooklyn 18-14 against the spread at home, mentioned that streak. Portland is a little bit of an under on the road, but again, as a favorite, they do go over. So I'm actually going to take the over here at 222.5 here. And this was my pick here on Night Moves. Give me the over with Portland and Brooklyn. I think that's the direction I'm going to go in this one. But let me hear from you in the chat. Tell me why I'm right or wrong, or give me your pick here, maybe on the side in this one. But I like the over here as my favorite play. I got to have maybe a premium or two over there at Tony'sPicks.com. Sometimes you got to regurgitate them a little bit and put one of your picks on the show as a premium when you don't have as many games. I might do that with this total. Let me see what you guys have in the chat for this one. Well, hello and welcome to Damon today. He liked the Hawks back there in that game against the Magic. Thank you, Damon. Good to see you there, brother. And also, here we go with Timmy Chushu. He's going to sprinkle that Nets money line here in this one. You know what? Maybe I don't mind that, Timmy. Okay, Blazers are not world beaters, Timmy. Right? His mom said that. I'm saying it too. I hope, Jimmy. I hope I'm not saying anything offensive there. I could say, hey, I got it from your mom. Said it. Let's see. Mr. Wester's will back the Blazers, though. He says that, look, he's got him by a couple of touchdowns here, he says. And, the Nets can throw in the clunker at any time. I get that. Okay, Kelly says Abia here and Portland over points and assists from Kelly. Damon likes the Blazers on the money line. Kelly also under in the threes. MPJ. Let me see. I got to update this injury list too as well right now because we do have MPJ out of this game. Actually, I think he's already been ruled out of the game here. Terrence Mann is out. Noah Clowney is out. Sharp is still out. Demon's out for the season now as well. So that's really a bummer for Igor. He's been so good here. Sharp is also out for the season. Nick Claxton, though, he is probable. Drake Powell, probable as well here for the Nets. For the Blazers, a clean injury report for the short-term injury. Sharp still out with that fibula injury. And Moonman's here. And Moonman clinging 15 rebounds. So do it again. We're thinking Moonman. Man, you guys, we're just 2 weeks away from going to the moon. I know we got the sports show here, but I'm being someone who's I always like the space program. Being a guy from my age, right now there is no true space program, but we're going to get it back going here with a trip to the moon here in 2 weeks. We're going to circle the moon. How about that? I think that's awesome. I can't wait. And with the technology today and the pictures that we'll probably see, although did you know that there's like 40 minutes where they go behind the moon and they're going to lose contact with them from the command control. So they'll all be out there, the 4 astronauts, without contact. It's going to be a moment in time for humanity there a little bit. All right. Timmy says, you'd think this would be more like 209 in this one. Yeah, maybe the books are on to me here a little bit. And Timmy said, what the Brooklyn Nets have had some real clunkers here. They just had that loss to Philly, 104-97. Only scored 97 against Atlanta as well. So they're talking about those injuries there. Damon's on the Blazers money line. All right. And let's see here as well. Timmy Two Shoes maybe go over in this one. Cal Dog's here. I think he's here right now. Yesterday, I'm like, Cal Dog's here. He's been here the whole time. Ramon, where you been? Hey, JD's here from Down Under tonight. I don't know. I really didn't check the Down Under sports on a Monday here. Is there anything tonight going on, JD? And I've looked at China basketball. I've looked at my Chinese basketball so far. All right. And I think that might be it from the crew on this one. And I'll take the over here. Next up, we've got the Mavericks taking on the Pelicans here. We're gonna have to use all of our resources now for some of the games today to find some winners. But let's see what you got here with Dallas taking on New Orleans. A couple of also rans here, but you know what? Got some teams that have actually played okay here of late. Dallas has won 2 of their last 3, beat Cleveland in that upset yesterday. Great job by Cleveland, by Dallas. 15-point dogs, won by 10 here. They were playing Cleveland for the second straight time. And I mentioned it yesterday. You guys are kind of the revenge chat sometimes. And hey, you know what? These guys are pros. They were able to get the win there. They lost to Cleveland at home by what, 33 points as a 13.5 point dog. Go on the road, we'll just beat you as a 15 point dog. They also beat Memphis for wins in two of their last three games here, talking about the Dallas Mavericks. New Orleans, meanwhile, they are just a monster cover here at this point. They did lose their last game to Houston, 107-105 on the road, but they covered, getting 5.5 there. Also, wins here over Toronto and Washington. New Orleans is on a cover streak here, but they're putting a little tax on them. Maybe the books are onto them a little bit here, laying 9. They're really one of the few tankathon teams that have shown any life at all, and they're just no doubt on a bit of a roll, having won 3 of their last 5. They also beat Sacramento here recently. Lost to Phoenix, but they did cover back on March the 6th. Dallas here has lost 9 of their last 11, despite wins in 2 of their last 3. They are 1-4-1 against the spread their last 6 games against New Orleans here. Dallas is 2-4 ATS in their last 6. Dallas has gone under in 8 of their last 10 games coming into this one. They're just 14-20 against the spread on the road. New Orleans, how good have they been? 20-13 against the spread at home this season. 10-3 against the spread as a favorite. Now, 9 here. I mean, I don't think all those games were close to double-digit favorites, but that's one of the best records in the NBA. Percentage-wise, it might be the best for the New Orleans Pelicans. So maybe they are in their correct role here, actually. It feels like they've covered 4 of their last 5 games at home. They've covered 5 straight, as mentioned. They've gone under in 4 of the last 5 games against Dallas right now, although 4 of the last 5 meetings here in New Orleans have actually gone over, but I don't know if that's going to be the case. I know it's 239, but I think I'm going to go under here in this one. You know, Dallas is 13-21 to the under on the road, and 21 and 26 to the under as a dog, and mentioned that streak there of 8 of their last 10 going under. So let me go to the chat here. I'm going to take the under in this one with Dallas and New Orleans here on Night Moves. But, still 238. I think it's actually trickled down a little bit from the opener. Let me peek at it here. Oh, no, the sendout was 235.5, so it definitely has moved higher. In fact, I'm seeing a lot of 239s out there. I'm just going off of Circa here, which is at 238. And like I said, if Circa's under the main move, that's kind of the way I look to the play too. I'm not basing it on that, but these two teams met back in December, and it was 119-113. Pelicans got the win in that one in a near pick'em at home, but Dallas won at home in November, 118-115. Did not cover as a 3.5-point dog, and they also met in November in Dallas, 101-99. New Orleans got the win. So New Orleans is 2-1 straight up and 3-0 ATS this season against the Dallas Mavericks. In the chat, there are some comments here about this game, and it's going to be Cal Dog, like in the Mavericks, plus the points. Timmy's going to go under as well with me, I think, here. Flags points to go over if he plays with the back-to-back. They've been cautious, obviously, with their superstar, coming back from injury like he has. But right now, he is not on the injured list today, but Klay Thompson questionable. Gafford is questionable. For the Pelicans, you got Murray questionable, and McGowan's is out of this game. Pelicans money line here for Damon. And that's going to do it in that one. I'll take the under here in this one with Dallas and New Orleans. All right, next up, you got the Suns here taking on the Celtics in this one. Celtics favored here by 8.5 against the hot Suns. And look, the Celtics, I mean, we know the Celtics. I don't know. I'm not saying the line looks a little short or anything. The Suns are playing pretty well here, but again, the Suns are in they're in the mix, like we said, with the play-in tournament here. They're not going to be able, I don't think, to get to the Timberwolves. They're only a game and a half back of avoiding the play-in tournament, and they're starting to play well again. They could try to catch the Wolves. Wouldn't that be something if they could catch also Denver right there? The Suns all of a sudden have kind of moved away from those play-in teams. I've been lumping them in with the play-in, saying they would not catch them here, but only a game and a half back right now. And I've been the one on the Suns, kind of, when the All-Star break came there and people kind of saying, oh, the Suns have been a fluke to have such a good record. I was like, why? What is fluky about them? They really didn't have injuries here. I think everybody just they did have a couple, but I think everybody just wanted to turn on them a little bit and say, well, we've turned to the second half. They really don't have the overall talent level as some of these playoff teams, maybe. I mean, you can't compare them talent-wise to the Wolves or the Nuggets or the Rockets, I guess. But that just shows you how good of a job they've done this season. They did just have their winning streak snapped last time out against Toronto on the road, lost by 7. They were 5.5-point dogs. But before that, they were beating some teams, not the best of teams, but beat Indiana, covered, beat Milwaukee and covered, beat Charlotte and covered. They beat the Pelicans. They're 20-12 against the spread on the road, 19-15 against the spread as an underdog. Phoenix has been one of the best covered teams in the league. But you know what? So the Boston Celtics, although they're just 16-16 against the spread at home, 27-21 against the spread as a favorite. Not their best role, but let's see how you have it here between these two. They met already back in February, and their other meeting was 97-81 in that game. If you wanted to look at two teams where you might want to consider an under, even if it's 213, I mean, first of all, Boston is a massive under here. They're almost playing 2/3 of their games under the total right now. 23-44 to the under are the Boston Celtics. They've gone under in 8 of their last 10. They're 11-21 to the under at home and 16-32 to the under as a favorite. So right there, I mean, almost across the board, the Celtics are in the role where they go under 2/3 of the time. It is a pretty low total, but Phoenix is a team that would probably cooperate. 29-37 to the under this season. Like I said, that last game, the thing was about that game back in February, the 97-81 game, we saw it coming. The total was 206.5 for one of the lowest totals of the season. This one at 213 here, it's definitely trickled down a little bit. The opener was mostly 214s, although BetOnline did open at 219 because they always got to be first to market, and they don't know what they're doing half the time on those. If you're watching, Mr. Mason, call me out. Anyways, for Phoenix here, 17-15 to the over on the road is really the only, stat kind of against it the other way. Boston actually has lost 2 of their last 3 games, losing to San Antonio and Oklahoma City on the road. So that's understandable. They did cover against OKC. They were getting 8.5, but they just failed to cover against Washington, laying 20.5. So, I don't know, maybe a reasonable number here at 8.5 right now. Phoenix has gone 0-5 straight up and against the spread in their last 5 meetings with the Boston Celtics. But Phoenix has won 4 of their last 5. They've gone over in 4 of their last 5. Boston's covered 10 of their last 14, having won 15 of their last 20. 8 of the last 11 meetings also have gone under between these two teams over the last 5+ seasons, 6 seasons now. Boston's gone under in 7 of their last 8 here. So let's hear it in the chat. Let's see what you got in this one. Boston and Phoenix. Good game. Good game. All right, let's see what the chat has to say here. And here we go. And Victor says, let's see who's in the starting lineups, Ramon. What that would make the difference for him? I might be able to come up with that right now. Checking the injury report. This one really actually is a very, very clear injury report, but uh, on the short-term injuries, we know that Dylan Brooks out with that broken hand. Mark Williams is out with a foot injury now for last couple of weeks, and Vucevic here he's out with a broken finger or whatever. So I think everything's all built in to it. So I'm not expecting really any surprises in the starting lineup in this game. Actually, for Phoenix, Gillespie, Green, Booker, O'Neal, and Iguodaro, and for Boston, White, Brown, Hauser, Tatum, and Queta. Cal Dog likes the over. Mr. Westerns likes the Celtics. Timmy says Celtics come out flying. He'll play them in the first half. Dimitri's here. He likes the Suns to get the money here in this one, plus those points here, right? Like I said, Phoenix. You almost say like, man, can't I get a few more points with Phoenix here? Maybe they're on. Maybe the bookmakers are on to them a little bit. Maybe Boston. Like I said, I don't want to call them a hiccup there. I mean, they played some tough teams, but they were beating Washington in that game. They were favored by 20. They actually had them up by more than 20, and they just kind of went on cruise control a little bit. There it is. Timmy said, yep. Make the Suns play here. Celtics first half. Kelly says under because without Tatum, Boston, under because without Tatum, Boston would be a -6.5. But now with them in there, they're a little bit higher of a spread, I think. Hey, there's a McRae in there. Thank you, Boston, to cook 'em, lay it. Good to see McRae in there with us there. All right, and Brown there for Timmy. They're gonna be throwing up bricks. Are the Suns? Mr. Cooper here joined us. Oh, I'm hanging with Mr. Cooper here in the chat. How about that? Anybody? Cal Dog, the Suns are going to get eclipsed here. Oh man, I gotta take the Phoenix Suns in this one plus the points. They're playing well here. I like Phoenix to cover at least in this one. All right, and next up, let's go to well, like I said. Gonna have to cover them all here tonight because we just don't have enough games out in there in the world of sports betting. We're gonna have to find some winners. So let's take a look at this one here with the Memphis Grizzlies taking on the Chicago Bulls. Hey, the Bulls are playing better than the Grizzlies here, at least at this point. The Grizzlies are really since both teams are in the tankathon, we can't play it that way, but Memphis has been the Bulls have been slightly better here of late. They're actually favored by 6 in this one. 243.5. What's going on here? That seems it seems appropriate, actually. See what you think here, though, with the Bulls favored by. Maybe there's some 6.5. Let me see here. Yeah, 6 or 6.5 right now total. 243.5, maybe a little lower on some moves here right now. Let's check the injured list here real quick. I don't know if it's going to make a big difference, but the Grizzlies have that ton of injuries. So do the Bulls. Grizzlies here, Walter Clayton questionable, Ty Jerome doubtful, G.G. Jackson doubtful here, Aldama out, Pippen out. Jalen Wells is probable here for the Bulls. Colin Sexton, questionable. Okoro, doubtful here. Jalen Smith is probable. Those are the short-term injuries here in this one. For the Bulls, they are a terrible favorite. 6-18-1 against the spread this season. I think the worst record percentage-wise, 25% ATS as a favorite. They are 16-17 against the spread at home. Memphis, though, just 19-26 against the spread as an underdog. These guys, both teams have shown a little bit of life covering the spread, but really for Memphis, it's been 2-3 ATS in the last 5. They've all been losses. Here they're on a 7-game losing streak, but they've covered 6 of their last 9, however, just one of their last 4. Still, they have some recent covers here. They covered 16.5 against Detroit by half a point, and they covered 7.5 against the Clippers at home. Here, Memphis has gone just 1-4 against the spread in their last 5 meetings with the Bulls. Memphis also over in 5 of their last 6 games overall. For the Bulls here, they are just 3-15 straight up in their last 18, but 5-2 against the spread in their last 7 games. Covered last time out against the Clippers, getting 13.5. They did not cover against the Lakers, but only by 1 point in a 12-point loss on the road. They beat Golden State, of course, on the road as a 6-point dog. Failed at Sacramento, but won and covered in an upset at Phoenix. So they do have a couple of nice wins here of late if you want to try to pick your spot maybe here. But again, the Bulls were just a terrible, terrible favorite. But for Memphis here, like I said, it's been pretty bad on this losing streak. Tough to want to go with the Bulls here in this role, but all right, let me hear from you. I might have to roll with the chat in this one. Feels like it's going to be a massive over, even though the Bulls are not necessarily a big over team right now. But I don't know. For me, it feels more like an over possibility in this one with this particular matchup. Bulls are 12-22 to the under at home. I really can't give you any great stats that would say over, so maybe I better just stay away from the total here. Actually, I just know that in general, there's been a trend here with the Bulls in some of these some of these games against the like ilk, the teams that aren't going to the playoffs, where the Bulls have actually had a little bit of streak to the over here. But I think 5 of the last 5 straight meetings, like I said, have gone over. So I might be having a little over regret. But let's see how you got it in the chat. I need some help. On this one. I'll be lucky if you guys even comment on this crummy game. But Grizz to cover, says McRae in here. And Timmy says it is a free under. All right, man. I guess I might be wrong. I might be wrong in this one, having hinted at the over. I better go to the side. Kelly says Giddy Chicago triple double. Cal Dog likes the under here as well. Yeah, boy, you guys are on this under. Kelly says Boston with a teaser in there. Cal Dog can't trust the Bulls. And Timmy says this thing's moving slowly under. Timmy wants to take the Grizzlies on the money line here. Might need the points, says McRae. Nets, points, Grizzlies, points parlay. They're up 1 money is here. Made it. And Cal Dog says these are slow-moving teams. Man, you're right, you guys. I'm gonna take the Bulls. I'm gonna lay it here, despite their woeful favorite number. I think fortunately they're playing the Grizzlies here. The Bulls are actually the ones playing with a little bit of life here, and maybe I should roll the money line dice in this one to see Memphis for up 1 money. So you guys are kind of on Memphis here. Maybe the Grizz can get it together here a little bit, as bad as they've been. Maybe against this team. I'd rather see Jerome in there. I think it's a big absence to have Jerome out, but got a couple guys have been playing some okay ball in here, like Coward, Hendricks in there, and Prosper has been interesting as well here of late for Memphis. And Timmy says, are the Sharps on the Grizzlies here in this one? Let me check it out here. I believe I actually think they're on the Bulls here, Timmy, but that's a speculation on my part. I'm not doing it to cross you. I'm just taking the over. Up one. You're right, up one money, but I'm taking the lesser of two evils. I feel like here, like I said, I might be only basing it on the fact that the Bulls have actually won a couple of games here. Like I said, they are terrible ATS as of in this favorite role right now, but Memphis can't even seem to win. Maybe they'll hang in this one, but they haven't come within 6 points of anybody in the last 4 games, and they haven't been playing great teams here. Yeah, Detroit, they covered because they were getting 16 and a half and still only lost by 16, so they got it by half a point. But against Dallas, they lost by 8. Against Philly, they lost by 10, and against the Nets, they lost by 11. They did hang with the Clippers at home, getting 7.5. So, okay, enough of that game. Let's go to one here, a little bit more significance these last 2 games of the Lakers on the road, taking on the Rockets here. All right, we got a good one, huh? With the Lakers here. Man, okay, the Lakers did get the win, and there was no doubt last night in the game there. Give the Lakers credit. They won the game. They were also a short underdog. There was definitely a missed call there late in that game against the Nuggets. A wild sequence there, no doubt. It came back as an incorrect call, according to the last 2 minutes report from the NBA league office. 9.2 seconds remaining in the fourth quarter. Austin Reeves was going to the free throw line after a foul by Spencer Jones, but Jones clearly dislodged the ball. It would have been a clean strip with the ball going out of bounds. Instead, Reeves ended up heading to the line and drew the Lakers within 1 point. So the report didn't really say whether the Lakers would have retained possession following the strip, but I think we all saw it on the screen there. It could have been ruled a turnover, I guess, but Reeves then stunned the Nuggets with his trip to the foul line following a pair of free throws from Cam Johnson to push the lead back up. The Lakers, Reeves sunk the first free throw and then intentionally missed the second before gathering the rebound and tying the game with that floater. So they went on to win, but that was a little bit of a hijinks there a little bit at the end of the game. So, all right, the Lakers here will be going up here against Houston there. I say last night. I mean, it was actually 2 nights ago, but the report came out there the next day. So just to mention, Lakers here are on a winning streak right now. And for Houston here, they've had some hiccups here of late, no doubt about it. Did beat New Orleans last time out, did not cover, lost to Denver, did handle Toronto at home, lost to the Spurs. Houston, not a great cover. We know that, just 24-34 against the spread as a favorite. And the Lakers are hot cover number. They're winning and covering right now. Want to always try to, break down the Lakers, find their flaws, and call them out. But it's really hard to do so right now. They seem to be on a little bit of a push. Can they, move up here a little bit the way things are going? They're in third place now. I guess there's nowhere else to go. They're not going to catch the Spurs, but if they could get third place, that would be huge for the Lakers. They're a half a game ahead of these Rockets right now, so this is a key game for positioning here. Yes, we have 15 games left in the season, but you get a chance here with whenever you're playing a team, heads up. 1 game is kind of the equivalent of 2 when you beat them. So Lakers are really just a half a game ahead in the win column between these 2 teams, but the Lakers have covered 8 of their last 12 games coming in right now. They've won 5 in a row, covering them all. They've beaten the Houston in 14 of the last 20 meetings and covered 4 of the last 6. Houston's won 5 of their last 6 games at home. They've also won 5 of the last 6 games at home against the Lakers. Houston, though, just 2-6 against the spread in their last 8 games. Houston's gone under in 4 of their last 5. I think in general, these 2 teams, you kind of consider the under. Houston 10-21 to the under at home. Lakers 14-17 to the under on the road, although they are 15-12 to the over as an underdog. Still, Houston 25-33 to the under as a favorite. See what you have here in this one with the Lakers and Houston. Houston, a poor favorite, like we said. These two teams did meet back on Christmas Day. Remember, it was 119 to 98. The Lakers lost at home to Houston. Houston was actually favored in that one. That's the only meeting these two teams have had this year. So, look, they're battling for the third spot. And they're going to be meeting each other a few times here down the stretch right now. How do you have it here with the Lakers and Houston here tonight in Houston? Just a 2.5 point favorite. Totals snuck up here from 225 up to 222.5. So let's see how you have it here with the Lakers and the Rockets. Like I said, the Rockets a solid under at home, but let's see what you guys have here. The Lakers clearly the better cover of the two teams. Lakers are 37-30 ATS this season. Okay, here we go with the chat. This one's tough for me. We got lots of comments too in this game. Okay, it's going to be Mr. Western start us off. He's on Houston. And Kelly said now the Lakers are going to be playing some tough teams here. They have already too, right? And they passed with flying colors. I mean, they covered against the Knicks. They covered against the Wolves. They covered against Denver. All wins. Lakers for McRae in there. And let's see here. Rockets for Cal Dog. Up One Money's got some unders in there today. Thank you, Up One Money. Mr. Wesker says the Lakers are trash. They're only in third place in the Western Conference, and they're on a big-time winning streak. And LeBron playing good once again. Mr. Wesker's not watching the games. Up One Money says Houston's bad. They are bad against the spread. Obviously, they're not bad. They're in fourth place in the West. Kelly says seems under here. And Cal Dog, right? Cal Dog talking about the Bulls there. They had that great start to the season, right? Lakers here, I think, for McRae in there. And let's see here. Oh, but it's about Sengun. Better check that injury report, Cal Dog says. Got an important player in there. Has been sidelined here a little bit. Questionable for this game. I really couldn't tell you right now, Cal Dog. That seems okay, but I think the game time decision label is on this one for sure. Maxi Kleber, the only guy there for the Lakers out of this one. Yeah, I agree. I agree with Timmy there. And Mr. Wesker says he's got some teams listed in there. I think some of the other Lakers victories there of late, the Pacers, the Bulls, and the Pelicans. So it says they've had kind of an easy schedule. So Kelly says it's been a tough schedule, and Mr. Western says it's been an easy schedule. So I don't think we have a clear – I'd say, look, their last three games here where they won, they beat New York, they beat Minnesota, they beat Denver. I don't know what you're looking for there as far as those. I would consider those to be good teams in the NBA. The Lakers beat them and covered against them. And they covered against the bad teams too. So Lakers are playing well, covering numbers. Tough game here, though. No doubt about it. All right, I've got to make my call here. I don't know if the chat really has been any help for me in this one. And it's like I said, the total here has moved here higher. It feels like the send out 224, 223 or so. I've got the over in this one between the Lakers and the Rockets. Rockets solid under at home has me worried here. I'd say mostly under teams a little bit. There, Mr. Westers, who does not understand LeBron James, one of the greatest players in the history of the game. It's obviously just some bias by Mr. Westers, does not appreciate what this man has done for the league, what he's done with his social impact. We just are never going to agree on this guy. Mr. Westers obviously biased against LeBron James. All right, that's it for that one. I'll just take the over. Let's see, Up One Money says Houston has less assist percentage of any other team. there. Thank you. Up one money. Great comment here. And Shingun, what a player here too. Uh, Shingun is, and maybe he can help this team out there a little bit. All right, we got one more, and we got hockey still here to come. So I'm not done yet. Let's go to the Spurs and the Clippers. Wow, we got another nice one here with the Spurs favored by 9.5. Now, no Kawhi does put a little bit of a damper on the situation here for sure. I think he's actually questionable. No, he's doubtful. Yeah, he's doubtful right now. So no Kawhi, that's for sure. Uh, uh, no Kawhi. For the Spurs, Luke Cornett is out. Dylan Harper is going to be out of this one. For the Clippers, Yannick Coden Niederhauser here, he is out. And Batum is probable here for the Clippers. So both teams playing well right now. And, Clippers without their star certainly is a little bit of an issue here. But look, it's built into the line, obviously, and the Clippers are obviously a decent cover here, although they did fail a couple of games here of late. They just lost to the Kings. That was pretty bad as a 13.5-point favorite. They beat the Bulls. They couldn't cover against them. They did crush Minnesota. They crushed the Knicks there. They seems like they get up for the big teams and they can't get up for the soft teams right now. Will they have enough here without Kawhi, though, to cover against these Spurs, who are doing a great job covering the spread? 19 and 15 against the spread on the road, 22 and 20, 26 and 22 against the spread as a favorite. Clippers are still a terrific underdog, 21 and 12 ATS as a dog. They're getting a lot of points here. It's not like they're going to mail this one in. The Spurs still could be in a little bit of complacency here. 3.5 back of the Thunder. They'd like to catch them, certainly, but they're well clear of the Lakers. They're going to come in at least second. And the Thunder, what are you going to do? Are they really going to go El Foldo here? Are the Spurs really going to close 4 games on the Thunder in the next 15 games of the season? That seems like a tough ask. Meanwhile, the Clippers, they know that they're in. They're probably not going to make it to get out of the play-in. They're going to be stuck here in 8th place. So they might also be actually lacking a true motivation. And when I say it, right, you could sit there and think, hey, if we're the Clippers, we can still win a bunch of games and get to 6th place, 6.5 games behind the Timberwolves. No, you have to realize you're going to even for a good team, right? What are you going to do? Win 2 out of every 3 still? And, you got to be realistic in the back of your mind. Clippers here coming in off of that loss, though, to Sacramento. They were on a winning streak. Before that, the Clippers are 4-1 straight up in their last 5. They've covered 12 of their last 16 games. I don't know what you want from them. San Antonio's actually gone just 4-8 against the Clippers against the spread in their last 12 meetings. Spurs have still won 17 of their last 19, covered 14 of their last 15. San Antonio has gone over in 4 of their last 5. Clippers have gone over in 5 of their last 7. And 4 of the last 5 meetings between the two teams have gone over. The Clippers have been an over team, 19 and 14 of the over as a dog. But San Antonio, 14 and 21 to the under. On the road, 22 and 28 to the under as a favorite. Oh, man, let's see what you got here. The Clips and the Spurs tonight at the Intuit Dome. Go to the chat and see what they have first before I make a call here. And, man, we got a lot of Spurs here for McRae. And Up One Money is not a LeBron fan, but he has the respect. I think a lot of people, like Mr. West, a lot of people, the China thing, that's going to rub people the wrong way about LeBron, certainly. And, you know what? It's funny. When we think about it here, China is going to end up being the negotiator in the war. All right, here we go. Not a prediction. Okay, here we go. And Mr. Westers is a big Dan Hurley fan. He loves Dan Hurley. Okay, let's see here. No Kawhi, got to go under here, says Kelly. And Kelly says Spurs have been hot, haven't they? Timmy says Wemby over, up one money, Spurs by 5. Timmy says Spurs just beat these guys up last time, 118 to 112. The Spurs got the win. Clippers actually covered that game. There, that was the only meeting between the two teams this year, so they might have beat them, but the Clippers covered. Jermaine going over here. And Timmy says the Spurs beat up the bad teams too and have trouble against the good teams, kind of. Cal Dog says if Kawhi plays, they'll take the Clippers, but there's no chance Kawhi's in this lineup. And Timmy says Spurs have no mercy. Mr. Wesker says that isn't enough. Yeah, you're right, Mr. Wesker. And Clippers do, yeah, I think for sure McRae says the Spurs will cook them here. Like I said, I think the Spurs situation is definitely more solid. Like I said, we got 15 games left, a little bit of going through the motions here. I mean, you think the games have been bad over the last, 2 or 3 weeks since the All-Star game, right? They're only going to get worse, probably. And the Spurs are in a situation, like I said, they maybe think they can catch the Thunder, but can they really, right? The Thunder are still going to have a strong winning percentage. I don't think they're going to fall 4 games more in the next 15. Meanwhile, the Clippers are like, hey, we got to stay ahead of the Warriors and ahead of the Trailblazers because Ramon says if you look at the play-in tournament, 7s and 8s always make it, and 9s and 10s don't. And that's just the way it is when it comes to the play-in tournament. The 10 and the 9 have terrible percentages. They never make it. It's only been a couple of times in the whole time they've been running this thing. The 7s and 8s always make it. So the Clippers have far better the motivation here because 7 and 8 is so much more important than 9 and 10. I mean, I'm just explaining the motivation factor, and these guys know it. I'm not saying it's a be-all, end-all. So I'll take the Clippers here in this one. Without Kawhi, probably 9.5. That seems hot. It's high. That seems high. All right. Yeah, Mr. Wesker's right. I mean, can Curry come back? Mr. Wesker said, can Curry come back before, enough to try to save the Warriors from that 9th or 10th place, right? Yeah. And Kelly says with Bassel just a big, great contributor to that team, no doubt about it. She'll tease the Spurs and Boston. Up one run, he's ready to go. He's tired of the hoop. Let's go to the puck here on Monday night. Let's go to our hockey segment here. Like I said, we're desperate. Fortunately, I think all these games are pretty. We got competitive teams in all the games, so every game has a little bit of something to do with the playoffs here. And let's get to it. The Flames are going to take on the Red Wings here in the opener, 7 Eastern, 4 Pacific, NHL action here for a Monday. 6 games on the card, 5 games on the card, like I said. Detroit's struggling right now. 3 straight losses here. And we know Calgary, not great, but Detroit, you'd think we could get a little bit more out of them right now, especially considering the situation where Detroit here in the wild card, they're hanging on by a thread all of a sudden. Do not want to keep losing here. The Detroit Red Wings, what is wrong with this team? 3 straight losses here in games that, tough schedule. They've been on the road. They lost at Dallas, lost at Tampa, lost at Florida. Not easy games. Florida's terrible, but they won a game the other night anyways here, and they beat Detroit. So not a great time for Detroit to be on a losing skid here. They're in the second wild card position right now, just 1 point ahead of the Columbus Blue Jackets. So Columbus has been playing so good. Detroit's got to be feeling the heat. Now, interestingly, for Detroit, they still are, Boston has 80 points too. So, Boston could tumble, I guess, there and, maybe fall out of favor. But Montreal's only got 82 points, Tampa 84, even some of the wild cards of the Metro. But the problem is there you got Ottawa at 77, Flyers for 74, and on down. So this is the heat of the race here with Detroit. Right now in the Eastern Conference. For Calgary, they've lost 3 of 4. They did get a win on the road at New Jersey. This is the 5th game of the road trip here. Doesn't feel like the Red Wings, the way they're playing, should be $1.85 favorite. But I guess when you're playing the Flames, maybe they should be. The Flames are 10-21 on the road this season. 18-34 as an underdog. Detroit 18-11 as a favorite here at home. So just got a big price, and the Red Wings just aren't playing very well. They've lost 5 of their last 6. They've lost 5 straight at home. But Calgary just 2-7 straight up in their last 9. They've also lost 7 straight games to the Detroit Red Wings right now, and they're just 1-4 on this road, or 1-3 on this road trip. 1-4 overall on the road in the last 5 games on the road. So I don't know, at $1.85, I kind of want to find my way to Calgary here. The puck line's probably a little bit too high. Let me take a peek at it here. I guess if it's under $1.50, I could do it, but I don't think it is. I don't like Detroit in the spot here right now. Actually, let's go to the chat and see what you guys got. Maybe, they're minus $1.70 here. I might be taking an upset here in this one. Here we go in the chat. Let's see what we got. Kelly's got her picks out here. She got Detroit here. Yeah, good point here, Kelly. Looking at the injury report here for the Red Wings. Larkin's been out with that leg injury right now. And they're missing some guys here, definitely, especially coming in. Branson Nygaard is questionable here. Rasmussen's been out now. Kopp is out, so they've got injuries. Thank you to McCrae in the chat. Thank you for stopping by. Timmy says Red Wings. His Calgary's no good. He likes the Red Wings to roll. Timmy says, how about an under? Maybe it's an under here with these two. You got Detroit here, 11-19 to the under. Calgary, 24-28. Detroit, 11-19 to the under is a favorite. Calgary, 24-28 to the under is a dog. Calgary, I believe, has had some overs, though, here of late. Detroit's gone under in 6 of the last 9 meetings against Calgary over the last 5 years or so. 4 of the last 5 games for Detroit have gone under. Calgary's gone under in 2 of their last 3, but let's see what you guys. I'm going to take the Calgary Flames in an upset here. I'm going to try Calgary. They are terrible. I cannot disagree certainly with Timmy. They are ASS, but okay. Let's see here. Wings team total over for Timmy Chushu. Cal Dog likes the over. And Cal Dog with me. Going to sprinkle that Calgary money line a little bit. I'm going to take Calgary in this one, actually. Van Riemsdyk for Timmy there. And I'm going to take the Flames in an upset as my pick here. Up One Money says Detroit either blows them out or they lose, but no close game. I think that's what Timmy said. Be easy to say they're up One Money, whatever. But I think what he's saying is you're not going to see the Red Wings win this one 3-2 or 4-3. They're either going to gun it and blow them out, or they might get beat 3-2 or 4-3. But he does not see Detroit winning it, 3-2, 4-3. I think that's an interpretation I would make. Kings and Rangers here. You got Panera. You got a little bit of storylines, I guess, here in this one a little bit. Then you got those Rangers here. All of a sudden, have won 4 in a row. What do you know with the Rangers? Too little, too late to ever try again. For the Rangers here, way down there at the bottom. 4 wins ain't going to make the difference here at this point. but they did win over Philly, Calgary, Winnipeg, and Minnesota. Not the toughest schedule around, but that Minnesota game was impressive. A 4-game winning streak here. We know that those, three of them were on the road because, of course, they were, because that's what the Rangers do. They're still 9-15 at home this season, and the Kings are 17-9 on the road. How are you not going to take the Kings in this game against the Rangers? Maybe the Rangers are playing just well enough that they've turned it around here. You do have the Kings, probably about a $1.20 or so right now, $1.15, $1.20 here. But if you do look at what's gone on, overall this season, how can you ignore it with the Kings, one of the best road teams in the league, and the Rangers, one of the worst home teams? The Rangers have turned it around a little bit, started winning. They were really bad at home. They finally won a few. Rangers have won 5 of their last 6 overall. Kings have lost 9 of 13, but they have won 4 out of the last 5 against the Rangers, but most of them have been at home. The Rangers have actually beaten the Kings 4 out of their last 5 at home against the Kings, and that's over the last 5 years. Kings have gone under in 7 of their last 9 on the road, although they've gone over in 4 of their last 6. Rangers have gone under in 5 of their last 7, but over in 5 of their last 7 overall. Well, some contrast here a little bit. These two teams met back in January for their meeting in LA, and LA won for the 4th straight time over the Rangers, 4-3 in that one. Kings are in off of a loss at New Jersey, 6-4 last time out. This is their 5th straight road game here, but they have won 2 of them to kind of keep up their mantra as a road team. They played pretty well on the trip. They did get blown out by New Jersey last time for sure. Now look, this total's 5.5 over 20, or is it going to? It's got to go up to 6. Yeah, let's update that. It's definitely 6 here, and maybe shaded to the under, but there's some 6 flat, and I think it's going to be a high scoring game. Actually, I'm going to take the Kings as my play here on night moves, but I tell you what, I'll probably be on the total over. Rangers are 20. The Rangers are 10-20 to the under at home because they usually can't score, but they are 22-17 to the over as an underdog, and the Kings are 21-18 to the over as a favorite. The Kings have had some overs here of late. They played New Jersey game was 6 goals, the Columbus game was 9 goals, Montreal game 7 goals. The games against the Islanders and the Boston and the Bruins did go under. But I'm going to take the Kings here and kind of play that angle still. Let's see what you guys have here. It might be over. Maybe the Rangers' ways are – maybe they're starting to win. The Kings have been terrible of late. They practically have blown it here. They're lucky that they still are sitting there within striking distance of the wild card. They're 2 points back of the Kraken. They'll get chances at these guys. San Jose and the Kraken are the teams ahead of the Kings right now. Utah and Seattle are the wild card teams here at this point. Okay, let's see what we got here. All right, it's going to be Red Wings. Let's see here. Let me find the Kings plays from the chat. Rangers for Timmy Two Shoes. The Kings have been on the road. Yeah, they've been on the road. Just like as O said, though, Timmy, Kings best road team in the league, actually almost 65% winning percentage on the road. But not as many of late, no doubt. Cal Dog for Kings. Hello to Richie Rich. He says 3-2 under. He's got an under. I think I've got an over, but I'm taking the Kings. And let's see what else. Kings are an easy pick, says Up One Money. There's Kelly. She's always got these angles covered. Like I said, this game isn't without a storyline here. Up One Money says the Rangers are still a fade at home. They might be. They've actually won some home games here of late. They've almost turned it around, but still 9-15. It was worse, though. Kings to score first for Kelly. And Rangers giving up at home. Up One Money says they do most of their scoring on the road. Yeah, they're a road team too, right? All right, next up. We've only got 5 games here. Let's go to the Bruins taking on the Devils here in this one. And we've got uh, the Bruins here in the first place in the wild card, tied with Detroit here. So, not comfortable. Like I said, you've got Columbus, you've got Ottawa breathing down their necks, but Boston could move up too, just a couple of points behind the Canadians. Uh, there with 82 points, and Boston has 80. So, hey, they could still move up. They're, in the wild card currently. It's not a panic situation here for Boston. Won a few games here of late, beat Washington last time out, 3-2 here on the road. Also beat the Kings, beat uh, Washington twice actually in the last few games. And Boston here, 37, 23, and 6. New Jersey's not going to go anywhere. They're at the bottom of the standings there with the Rangers. So here's the problem. Boston can't win on the road. Yeah, they did get that win over Washington, but that was snapped a 7-game road losing streak. So, you know what? New Jersey's having trouble. They're not going anywhere. Way back, they'd have to start winning them all here at this point. There's only 15, 16, 17 games left in the season for most of these teams. So, can they get it? Can they get it up? The New Jersey Devils here for this game against a playoff-bound team that looks like in Boston. New Jersey's gone under in 20 of their 34 home games. Boston's an over team on the road for the most part, but especially on the road as an underdog, they're like an over. These two teams met back in December. Boston won at home 4-1 for their only meeting of the season. So we'll see these two teams again here before the end of the season. New Jersey comes in off of a win over the Kings, 6-4. Before that, they lost at home here to Calgary. They lost to Detroit. The New Jersey Devils are on a long homestand here, actually. 6 games so far. So, see what you got here in this one. We got the Devils here taking on the Bruins. And again, that Boston road streak has been very, very bad. Finally, they won one, but that only snapped their 7-game road losing streak. Now, they have defeated the Devils in 10 of the last 13 meetings overall. New Jersey's won 5 of their last 7. So they're not giving up, I guess. They're playing, like I said, they lost to Calgary and Detroit. They've lost 2 of their last 3, but won 5 of their last 7. 5 of the last 7 meetings between these two teams have gone over in New Jersey. 4 of the last 6 overall. New Jersey's gone over in 4 of their last 5, and Boston's gone under in 4 of their last 5 games. But I want to think it could be goals, actually, between these two. But let's see what you've got. I don't know if I could take Boston. They won one on the road, but they've been poor on the road. New Jersey's actually favored here in this game. All right, let's see what we got in the chat here. I said over, but I'm not sure, actually. I'm kind of balking on the total. I think I'm going to be on the side here. All right. Timmy does like the over, though. Yeah, I gotcha. Bruins playing fast and physical. At home, they look great. For some reason on the road, not as much. And let's see, Cal Dog on the Bruins here. Looks like maybe some question with the goaltending here in this one. Connor Brown for a point, says Timmy there. But Cal Dog says he could see Swayman in there. Swayman, they just had that incredible game the other night. Now, I don't know. I mean, I'm not saying that because it was Saturday night, but they did play that incredible shootout. What did it go for a time there? They were with who was they? The shootout went the first 13 rounds or something, and no one scored. It wasn't 13 rounds, 13 shots. First 6 or 7 rounds, nobody had even scored. I'm taking the New Jersey Devils in this one. Give me the Devils. All right. A couple more here with Utah taking on. Let me get it here. A couple more here with Utah taking on Dallas. Two teams going currently in opposite directions. Uh, Utah, hopefully, they're trying to stay in the playoff chase, but they've lost four in a row right now. Meanwhile, Dallas has won four in a row and way more than that. That's just when they lose, it's just a hiccup. But Utah, all of a sudden, not looking good. They're 8-15 as an underdog, straight up. Dallas, 4-game winning streak, wins over Chicago, Vegas, Edmonton, and Detroit. Meanwhile, Utah's losses were twice to Chicago, shut out at Minnesota, and they lost at home to Pittsburgh last time out 4-3 in regulation. Dallas, meanwhile, is just blistering here at this point. I mean, $1.60 looks like an absolute gift right now. And, the move is actually, it looks like the Sharps want to come in on Utah here, which is only going to make a little bit of a discount. We don't want to make a habit of laying big numbers too much, but I don't see how this isn't $1.85 or something in this game, the way Dallas is playing right now. I know it's $1.60. I'm taking Dallas. I don't want to bore you here on a YouTube show. We're supposed to take some chances here, but I just don't think I can go against Dallas, especially at $1.60 price. the way this team is playing right now. Jeez. Dallas has won 14 of their last 15. They've won 10 of their last 11 at home. Meanwhile, Utah's last 4 of 5, and they've lost 12 of the last 14 games against the Dallas Stars. Ironically, they won 2 of the last 4 against them. They had a 10-game losing streak against Dallas before the last couple of seasons here. Still, they played back in January, and Dallas won 3-2 at Utah. Utah won at home a couple of weeks earlier than that, 2-1. But I've just got to take Dallas here, and I can't handle it. I don't care, $1.60 here. Maybe the puck line is more appropriate. Maybe that's where I'll go. But Dallas here on the puck line plus $1.60 right now. So just give me Dallas in this one, if you would. I'll take Dallas. All right, Dallas Stars here for Cal Dog. And Swain, that was incredible up one money, especially when they got to the shootout. And both goalies were just outstanding in that game. Nobody could score on them. I'm trying to remember who they were playing. Can you guys remind? Oh, I have it right. What am I doing? I have it right here. They were playing Detroit, right? That was a Detroit game. That one. That oh no, that was no. It was. I'm going back to that Swayman game now. I gotta trigger my memory on that. Oh, Logan Thompson. Yeah. Kelly says Dallas is super hot. Swayman, yeah, what a time. Over says up one money. And I like to take the Mammoth too, but not in this one. Okay. Who snapped the Dallas losing streak? Who snapped Dallas's winning streak back there the other few games ago was Columbus. Up one money's on Dallas. Dallas for Richie Rich. Stars and regular. We got to go with Dallas. Let's lay 2 units. All right, one more here and we're out of here. Thank you, everybody. Great to have you here on Night Moves. Penguins on the road, taking on the Avalanche here in this one. And, Colorado's had a few hiccups here along the way. Pittsburgh's lost a couple, though, too, here. Pittsburgh actually coming off of a win over Utah last time out. This is their 4th straight road game. Colorado, meanwhile, has lost 2 of 3 to Edmonton and Winnipeg here. Still got Colorado unbelievable at home, 23-5. Puck line game here. And look, Pittsburgh is a puck line underdog, one of the best there is. I'm taking Pittsburgh on the puck line here, no doubt. Pittsburgh is 29-8 as a puck line underdog, outstanding. Colorado as a puck line favorite, also terrific. 33-31. They've been favored pretty much. I think they've been favored in every game but one this season, believe it or not. That is absolutely impossible. But, I think Pittsburgh is doing well enough here to want to make me consider taking them right now. Look, Pittsburgh, they'll get you to the shootout every time, right? They get to the shootout. They never are any good in the shootout. That's for sure. So Avalanche may win this one in a shootout, but I'm going to take Pittsburgh plus a goal and a half at minus $1.30. Let's see what you guys have here. I should have broken it down a little bit more, but Pittsburgh is just 1-4 straight up in their last 5 on the road. They've lost 5 of their last 7. Colorado 13-7 in their last 20 at home. Wow, that's a far cry from what they used to do. Colorado's won 6 of their last 8 games coming in. Colorado pretty solid under as a favorite, of course, but I'm just going to take the Penguins here on the puck line. All right, let's see. We got Kelly's got Malkin for a point, and Colorado's a team that beat Dallas. Malkin back from suspension, a good prop there. That's going to do it for Night Moves. Thanks, everybody. Really appreciate it. Great show tonight. I know it's a little short one, but, man, we got college basketball coming back this week. We'll catch you back here right quick on Night Moves. I think we're going to have a big day. You guys had some great picks in the chat. Really appreciate it. Make sure you join Tony T tomorrow, 9:30 Eastern, 6:30 Pacific for the morning show. And then Rod's got you covered with the happy hour, and I'll be back here with Night Moves. Thanks a lot, everybody. That's going to do it for me. Had a great show. Really appreciate it. And have a great sports week. I'll see you back here on Night Moves from Las Vegas. Good night. Good morning.